Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of the Seercast. I'm ePiKnight, and with me here today is Liem.
I'm totally a Dragonkin.
Orange.
How many rune dragons does it take to kill a Dragonkin? 4K.
Thorlah.
Why must you keep killing everyone I care about?
Because Thorlah. Kitten.
Hello.
Fang.
Zavistic Rarv is Khazard's father.
Geena.
Think about it.
Yep.
Geena.
Hey, Kuradel, I heard you want to go Dragonkin hunting.
And Runic.
I am no longer a robot.
Of course.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Nice.
Congratulations. Of course, Walter is here in chat and in whatever moon spirit he is in. But before we go anywhere, I do want to do a quick plug of the former mod John A's book.
John Aleph.
John Aleph recently published a book. It is currently available for Kindle and other e-reader things. It's called Belt 3. I have read it. Nope, none of these other scrubs have read it yet, but
I don't have an e-reader.
I've read a little bit.
I think we all plan on it once it comes out in paperback in December. But if you liked his stuff in RuneScape, or just like the kind of sci-fi fantasy novels, go read his book because it's great. Anyways, we are here today to talk about the latter half of June, especially regarding Heroes Welcome, and we're going to also briefly mention the July BTS, and I think we can very briefly mention Rune Labs because we will not have a dedicated podcast for that this time.
So instead of doing that, we're going to spend this whole podcast talking about Manjane's book.
Yep. Especially considering I'm the only one that's read it yet.
Yep.
You should put the link down in the description.
I should.
Link in the doobly
That's a good idea. Both
The
UK
entire
and the
podcast,
US one.
I will be reading the book and trying to keep on with the discussion very quickly.
Beautiful.
Okay, but so yeah, we'll go ahead and get started with the world event. So as we all may or may not know, Tuska has been defeated in a controversially run world event.
That means it sucked.
I'm not going to say it sucked. It was questionably managed.
I've said
It was underwhelming. I think we can go with that.
Yes.
it had potential, but raids kind of absorbed any sort of time anybody could have put in for extra bells and whistles.
Yeah, the thing about this world event was that it felt pretty rushed from beginning to end because it was a 20-minute world event every hour, and then just to grind fest the other 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, like, it really... Sorry, I'll let you finish.
no,
go.
go ahead.
It really turned into more of a daily task. I think just because there was so much focus on it being another area as opposed to actually being on Gielinor,
Mm-hmm.
it was really, really underwhelming in terms of, like, content. It was really fun as a daily thing. I think I was talking to a random friend just saying that everything that was in it could be a good idea for a skiller boss or a daily thing or something, a mini game, something. It's just not really to the scale of a world event.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a reason to hate Tuska. Aside from, yay, XP, woo!
There wasn't really any danger either, which was a big problem.
There's
Yeah.
Thorlah
Because,
reasons
they always
to
talk
hate
about how
this.
skiller bosses need danger, and then they release a skiller boss that has no danger.
Well, then comes Heroes Welcome, and you can make arguments that is not the case. But we'll talk about that.
Half to it, but yeah.
We'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, so obviously Tuska has been defeated. The Godless won every single day that Tuska did not. And almost all of Tuska's wins were early. We've probably said multiple times what our thoughts on the way that this could have been, but
They just should have expanded on it as it went. They didn't follow through.
Yeah.
That's because
Yeah.
raids.
There was no follow. Like, Kitten, you were there when they announced Tuska, and they said like content was going to be spiraling out of her back.
Because
Yeah, well,
raids.
I mean,
The part that
they-
confused me too. Oh, sorry, Runic.
it's okay. It's okay. Keep going.
Okay, yeah, the part that kind of, it didn't really bother me, it just kind of confused me a little bit, was that there was a lot of concept art for other stuff, which I was
Yeah.
kind of hoping, like, please don't just be another Slayer monster, please don't just be post-content stuff that just gets put somewhere in a remote area of RuneScape and doesn't get touched again. Like, because I was kind of waiting for there to be another phase, and, like, maybe there's gonna be a new island with different stuff to do, and...
I was
more
certain that was going to be in the
stuff?
case, and then the
Yeah, I
Reddit
was
Q&A
really
happened,
expecting
and
more
all of our
islands.
hopes were dashed.
Because
I
raids.
mean, there's art for it. So I got kind of, I just was like, yay, there's gonna be stuff. They already have concept art. And it's like, oh, it's not really
I mean, there
the
was
case.
a whole concept art for further up on her back and like inside of some of her spines and stuff like that. Oh, I was so excited, and then
Mhm.
we just get the world window opening and meteorites falling.
And then raids.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
I mean, like
raids.
raids is the follow-up, but it doesn't excuse the fact that the world event was 4 islands and some skilling stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't
It's
even
a
a faction
correlation.
token.
They,
The faction token, the loss of the faction token in evolving content was my biggest disappointment.
yeah, they got moved over to raids, so they didn't have time to add it in all those different.
Which, I mean, I understand, because raids are like their big thing,
Yeah.
you know?
But it's like, why?
If you're
why
gonna do
make-
a world event, you might as well do it right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like why do it, halfway? Why not just wait until you can devote, all these resources to it to make it
I
the best
agree.
it can be?
Yeah. But anyways,
It
we've
felt
harped on
really
this
good.
more than enough over the past month.
Month.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
To more
I mean,
important things.
it's a thing. Also, things that happened. The Slayer belt, which was an old Rune Lab suggestion, was released. You can add rock hammers, salt shakers, ice shakers, fungicide shakers, explosive shakers,
Can we talk
Slayer
about that one when
bells,
we're done?
crystal chimes, and Ouroboros pouches to the tool belt now.
That
As-
explosive shaker.
As
It is-
well
Yeah. The
as...
explosive and the super explosive shaker.
It
A
is
shaker of explosives.
Yes.
it is the condiments belt.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
It
can
is a
also
belt of condiments.
pay Slayer belts to play Slayer
points.
points to add Seedicide, Charming Imp, Bone Crushers, and Herbicides to the tool belt.
You give money to your
That's
belt so you
1,000
can put
points
stuff in
total
your belt.
to put them on.
Yes, and Bone Crusher actually recently got changed. I
Yep.
think it was like latest patch where you can, because before it was just enable and disable.
Yeah.
So depending on what you wanted to bury, but now you can just choose what gets buried all the time and what doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
that
really
was
nice.
a very nice one.
Yeah.
Alright, but yeah, that's a thing. Unless anybody really wants to talk about this.
No, I think we all want to get
No.
some.
Yeah, I think we all want to
That's
move on.
great.
All I'd like to say is that
Great.
I finally had an excuse to go back into that slug place in mine Rubium. Hooray.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
I went in there and wasted 10 minutes mining rubium, and then that was it.
Also, the Artisan's Workshop was apparently updated.
thank
What's it?
God that they added the auto-loading cannon.
Yeah, that was a great choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than
was a great app.
Just okay. They've also they've done the beach thing for the Lumbridge Crater, which is quite nice. It's
Yeah.
It's great. Daily XP. It's got a bunch of fun titles. There's a boss that spawns every hour.
Claudia, I approve.
I'm
of
pretty happy with it. And it's getting
servers, everyone
Yeah.
hops to it.
it's getting an expansion next week too. So strength XP, some other XP. I don't know.
You see, if they
like
put
So-
that kind of effort
so
into
they
the
could-
world event, it would have been
Yeah.
great.
So they put an expansion for the beach, but they can't do an expansion for the world.
yeah.
Yep.
This is
Yeah.
what happens when your microtransaction team is given a lot of budget and your development team is not.
Where is the I can't even, or I have lost my ability to even,
You mean the horse mask eating the modder?
or that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that.
don't
Uh-huh.
even.
That works.
But yeah, okay.
least- I mean, well, even the beach had like hidden content, the ducks. Speaking of which, what the heck do we do with them?
Mega Duck.
Help.
I love
You
my
love
Mega
them and
Duck.
give them affection. Always.
We look at them. Thanks, Walter.
We admire them.
That's they're adorable.
They are so beautiful.
All right. Also, things that happened is Mod Stew's Addy and Rune Dragons.
Woo!
Yay!
Hey.
Yay!
Yay!
Hey.
Including what
Dragons
was his,
are
what was his
especially
name?
amazing.
Gray stew.
4K.
No,
4K.
not 4K. The killer rune dragon.
The elite rune dragon.
Elite Rune Dragons.
Barry.
I killed my first one
Barry?
today, and it killed me at the same time. It was a double kill.
So, what
I
was
had
the
it
one
done
that killed the one that killed
Not today.
32 people in rage mode?
Very.
Very.
Yeah, that was
There's
really
like 1
funny.
in 10,000 chance of an elite rune dragon spawning with the name Barry. I'm not even
Interesting.
kidding. That's actually a
No, I know it's a thing. It
It
got put
is.
in the patch notes a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
That was
It's
great.
so-
But yeah,
Yes, it was.
Adian Rune Dragons seem to be pretty good. They're the high-level dragons. They do stuff. We've already talked about them. But yeah,
They are
So
a ton
what's
of
the
fun.
story behind Barry here?
Oh,
So on the day of release, there was a serious glitch.
wait,
if you
wait. Shouldn't
attacked
this be a
an
start
elite-
time? Okay.
God damn.
go Fang.
There was an elite rune dragon that or there was a glitch with elite rune dragons where if you attacked one and left it on phase 3 and just wandered off, they continued to gain their damage without a cap. And elite rune dragons once attacked were aggressive. So this came to that, and
Their rage
every
kept
time somebody
building.
walked, the rage kept building, and every time somebody walked in, he would hit you for 14k
And
Easy
you couldn't
game.
live.
instead of 4k, 14k, and he killed what 32 people,
He killed 32 people, and the guy who killed
And then-
him got killed while killing him.
Yep. but somebody killed him by using the walk glitch. You can glitch out the elite rune dragons by walking under them while still attacking them, and they'll
Oh.
skip their attack
So
animations.
they actually walked it to death, like old
Yeah.
style.
They walked it to death, but unfortunately, right as they were hitting the last blow, he got killed, and then a couple other people came in and managed to finish him off. He finally died.
Well
Wow.
wrecked.
And that was the
So
story of
just the
Barry.
Barry.
And that's the story of Barry. So now, to
Wait, so
memorialize
I
this
still
epic
doesn't
achievement,
explain why it's Barry.
Walter says that is acceptable
Because,
glitch abuse.
somebody on the forum, they were talking about this glitch going on and had been sitting in the safe spot watching Barry wreck people.
And
So they
named
decided
Barry.
they named him Barry, and it got pretty popular on the
Became a
forums.
thing.
So they decided to memorialize that.
It's just a thing.
Oh, okay.
It's player made. It was.
Don't
It's
really
wonderful.
don't really ask about it. Just cry.
Just accept
Just
it.
go with it.
Yep, go with it. Walter says that is acceptable glitch abuse. I agree.
Yeah.
To wreck a runaway, overpowered elite rune
Just say a
dragon.
Kepsi. From
And then just to make things even better is during the bug fixing of that bug, they also fixed the walk bug. So
Oh, you mean they're not you can't do it anymore?
correct.
Ah.
But the way they fixed the bug was basically if they're not in combat, their rage degrades again, and there's also a damage cap to how high their rage can go, and it's not high enough to insta kill a player anymore.
That's
Oh,
It
boring.
can two-shot you, but it can't one-shot you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. How do you think I died in that first rune dragon? That first rune dragon.
I like
by
fighting
one
the
being
elites
one
and stuff.
shotted.
The
No,
elites are
by
great.
2 5k hits. I couldn't take
Oh.
that.
Good.
Oh dang.
The elites are great, though I don't forgive them for being harder than GWD bosses, just saying.
Yeah, that is true. They take more food from me than a GWD boss.
Well, considering that God Wars bosses generally take 0, yeah,
That's true.
it's not
An
saying
elite
much.
rune will take maybe 3 or 4 food from me. A
It will
normal
take
one will
all
take
my food.
maybe
I need-
1.
It will take all my food. If I want to kill one, I gotta go bank and restock everything, but then go kill it.
That's because you reset your defense, Lime. So please.
That's true.
Anyways,
I
they
am 99 defense and range.
they also released, or along with this, there was a journal that is dropped as 4K's journal. We will talk about that along with all of the other Dragonkin stuff with
There was
Heroes
also
Welcome.
2 new Dragonkin primer translations. They give you
From
fire making
Heroes.
XP.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
from-
the murals. Yep.
I need to really go get those
I
already.
need to get a Dragonfire shield and do that.
Yeah, I need to.
They don't
do
tell
the
us very
mirrors as
much,
well.
Yeah, it
unfortunately.
doesn't. It's
Yeah.
It doesn't do very. I was hoping that it would give us more lore, but I suppose that more
Okay, so
information
Noah was supposed to-
into the Dragonkin language would be helpful as the Dragonkin storyline goes on.
Mhm.
Yep.
So,
but then there's also the murals themselves are pretty cool.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
then
they're
4K's journal is really the thing that gives us the most lore. Though there is a mention of the Stone of Jas in the translations.
yes, it is
Except
quite interesting, all of it.
Yeah, the translations are awesome.
I really do need to dig up those pieces.
Although
and-
I still don't understand how they help us, since all the Dragonkin inexplicably speak English.
That's very true.
I've noticed that during the quests, they all speak English for
It's
whatever.
probably because we keep
Yeah.
touching the stone.
It was just like small
that's-
mentions, like in one of a kind. Karapak mentions a word. He's like, "Oh, I meant that."
No,
Boss,
they speak
the boss
Infernal. Walter, why?
Well, sort of infernal. That's where the root
Oh.
language is. Infernal's like their Latin,
Yeah.
so they understand us. Yeah,
All right.
that's what I'm saying.
Green Lab
Anyways,
suggestion: why do
Wait.
Dragonkin speak English?
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah,
Most definitely.
that'd be a good
And,
question.
Let's not forget their awesome drops too.
Oh yeah.
They, while you're on task or fighting elites, you can get attachments to Gleekor boots that make them into T90 power boots.
That
they
are
require
incredibly
two of-
not worth
yeah.
it.
They require 2 of them to make into the power boots, and when they degrade back into Gleekor boots, and you have to get more attachments. There's a really cool looking cosmetic Ketsi outfit.
which I did not get yet.
I have not gotten it either.
From what I've heard, the outfit is ridiculously rare.
Yeah,
Like-
it looks really
Yeah.
cool though, because you can preview it in the overrides. I really like the helm.
Hmm
I just like all of it, especially like the
Yeah.
chest piece, because you can
The
see
chest
it
piece is
has
really good looking too.
it has bits of adamant and rune
Yeah.
on it. And
I
it's
also really
got
like the
that-
gloves and the boots with those large bracers around them.
And then there's like all of the Stone of Jas type influences there. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's a really good outfit. They also drop rune dragons drop rune dragon bones, which are better XP than frost dragon bones, and adamant dragons drop adamant dragon bones, which
And-
are worse XP than frost dragon bones, but are still
And my
pretty
only
valuable.
complaint about both of those is that they do not mention the dog in either of the examine texts.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
That is a big
finally
problem.
there is a Ketsi ring, which provides damage boosts to rune dragons and provides teleports. It degrades to dust if you don't, if you use it, but you can recharge it now apparently. And the Ketsi outfit and the Ketsi ring are only dropped by elite rune dragons, so they're pretty exclusive.
Yep. All right. I think that covers what we wanted to talk about, minus 4K's stuff. But again, we'll talk about that in just a moment. But yeah, we'll move on here into Heroes Welcome, which is the quest that was released last week.
Yeah.
And
Yahoy!
I would,
Perhaps
anybody-
more accurately known as Heroes Welcome and Immediate Goodbye.
if anybody has not done the quest and does not want to be spoilered, now would be a good time to leave, because we're going to start immediately by spoilering.
V dies.
Yeah. There you go.
You ruined the warning, Lime. You ruined our warning.
Spoiler warning. Lottie dotty dot. View eyes. Lottie dot. Oh.
I'm just going to add this to Twitter, so I'll make the entire warning pointless.
But yeah, so basically we meet V, and he creates some jiggly mystery meat-ish
Meat
thing.
Jiggly.
It was quite disgusting, and I'm quite proud of the graphics team for being able to make something that disgusting.
I love the
Mhm.
the examine text. It's jiggling.
Mhm.
Examine
It's
text.
like that would just be so scary.
It's
Just to go to a buffet and like suddenly there's just massive like pieces of meat the size of oxes, just
Jiggling.
lightly jiggling.
The first thing-
Ew.
the first
This was
thing I
totally
thought
what
of
I intended, guys.
was
And I love-
was Louis.
One of them says, "Is this how ox look on other planets?"
I love that part.
Rip
This is
Thorlah.
the first thing I thought of was Chewie.
Yep.
But anyways, yeah. So but yeah, he does that. He realizes that his power is not what it should be. He goes to this former island.
You know, after we
Like a
wake up
thing.
in a chicken coop.
The island of
Oh yeah,
Side
right.
Quest.
After we wake up in a chicken coop, I laughed at that. I laughed.
And Marimba is everywhere.
Apparently, Fang woke up in the cow pen, though.
I did.
Oh, so we can wake up in any
interesting.
of the random. Okay.
I guess so.
Oh.
Okay.
But yeah, so
I really am wondering how much we ended up drinking.
probably
Not
far
enough.
too much.
I loved the
Uh,
Marimbo shout out at that point too.
Yeah, the Marimbo name drop was kind of cool.
Yeah.
That
That
was
was great.
Let's
We
continue.
It
didn't
wasn't
even
really a
cover
name drop, it was more of a
that
race
was
drop.
required.
Let's continue.
But yeah, anyways, so then we go on to the former trading post island thing to help V get his powers in check, I guess I should say.
The first thing you always notice is the duplicates everywhere, like
Yep.
the dupe glitch.
The fisherman freaked me out.
Yeah, the
actually, 'cause
fisherman.
Before I knew
The
about that,
fisherman was so
I
funny.
found him.
Yeah.
And he freaked me out, and then I found the other one. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just a creepy thing from the moment you stepped on that island.
Yeah, well, I was like,
it was a very, I don't know. The atmosphere was very well done.
Yeah,
there.
it was a big
It
change
was.
in tone from the big celebration
mhm.
Yeah.
previously.
I mean, immediately they did a great job of setting up this huge feeling of extreme unease
Hmm.
as you got deeper and deeper into the quest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, so then we go in where we help him by draining all the duplicates off, and then the Dragonkin show up and say, "Ha! This is our god now," or rather, your
This
god
is
is
our
dead
power
now.
now.
My trap
Ha,
card.
ha, ha.
Zap.
Now
This
you
is
see
our
it, now you
quest.
don't.
And then they reveal the Elder Mirror so they can murder him.
And then the quest is
They
over.
just
check
That's
you out
it.
of the
That's
way.
it. Bye,
And then-
guys. No.
Yep, Thorlah died at the end.
So
Keep
did any of you guys
Yeah.
listen to podcast with Mod Wilson discussing the quest?
I
Yes.
did not.
He
Not
said that
yet.
it was established at the very beginning that V was supposed to die in this quest.
He would not, yeah. But when he was
Great.
going to die was the big question. Initially, one of their designs was he stumbles out of a portal in front of you and immediately dies. The dragon can like follow him out of the portal, and that's when you learn about them and try to hunt them down. In an alternate design, you're with him the entire time, and he gets killed at the end, setting up space for a sequel where you go after the Dragonkin. And they decided to kind of meet in the middle and halfway point and kill him.
I like the way they
It
did
gave
it.
you-
I'm
honestly.
going to
Gave you
say
time to
that
get to
I
know it.
would have liked the entire quest to go on with V and then have him die at the end. The
Yeah.
quest could go on
Hey,
as
the
it did,
the
but
thing
with
is just
Wait.
kind of
him die at the end.
breaks the
I
whole
understand
path
why they did it though,
dies at
because
the end.
it let us kind of get revenge for the murder of V, but it didn't, close out the storyline.
Yeah, and it really did feel like
It
a
wasn't a
complete
huge cliffhanger.
waste of
Yep.
Oh, what?
just introducing V and then killing him felt like a waste.
No.
Just
Yeah,
I,
it still kind of bugged me.
I like
If
that.
he killed him right out the portal, maybe, but
I like that, and I pledged to defend it, and that's why I said no so passionately. I will give
Now-
all the reasons
now
as to
see-
why killing V was a good idea right now.
I agree that killing V was a good idea. However, the reason I don't like it is because the quest was advertised as a god returning to claim a town, and then they advertised it as a Fremnit quest, and specifically on the announcement, they said you were hunting Dragonkin with V.
But
That's
did they?
what pissed me off.
But did they not do the same thing for the World Lakes?
No, they said you
I
were
don't
going
remember
to
what
meet
they did for
Guthix.
that.
They didn't say he was going to die, but that was kind of the point. But with
yeah,
V,
they didn't say
they-
they were gonna
Rip
go on a
Thorlah.
great thing with Gothic.
it was a promise of, we're going adventuring with V. And they even specifically said, go hunt down Dragonkin lairs with V. If they hadn't said that, and they'd given us some kind of indication that it was going to aim more towards a Dragonkin quest, I probably would have felt a lot more positive about that development. But for me, it was, hey guys, here's a series that we haven't touched in years. We're adding a new quest for it along with their new god, and you're going on an adventure with him. And then they just kill him?
I think
Yeah.
I think
I can see
this
that.
is the part where some of us read into future updates way too much, because
Hashtag me.
I generally go into these quests just like, okay, I don't know what's gonna happen, something's gonna happen, but I don't care what happens so much until afterwards. And I don't
And I
go
mean,
in
I
with
liked- I
expectations
liked
of
the
doing
development of
anything,
it.
because I don't go and read the fine print and read. It's like, what? It just take what they give to you, and then after the fact, you can think, okay, so is that good or bad?
And I mean, I very much enjoyed the quest. I
Walter,
just
please.
feel like it was advertised poorly, and that offset my expectations a lot harder than I would have liked.
say yeah, it's
Well, it
probably
did give
just
you that massive shock.
totally okay with the plot
Yeah,
development.
it was a great twist. I loved it as a twist. That was fun.
Yeah, it was. I will say it was a great twist.
Why
Like-
does it have to always be characters like I connect with?
I'm gonna read. Hold on a second. I'm gonna read straight from the thread. This is from Walter. Seriously, Jagex, give Thorlah one character that he's allowed to really like that you don't instantly kill. One, that is all I ask for. It is
Alright.
just getting sad at this point. I, Walter, predicted V's death entirely because Thorlah liked him, and Jagex seems to love to make him sad. Even Rold died in Dimension of Disaster, and Death had to die to become Death.
Yep. Yep.
Poor Harold.
Rip Thorlah.
Like, I will say this, at the beginning of the quest, I did not like V that much, because it just seemed too easy for him to turn into another Armadillo that everyone would flock to, because apparently he's the greatest person ever, la-di-la-la-la.
But
That's a big part about why I think it was good he died, because he was too good of a god.
Yes,
But-
then...
If you
Right.
didn't support V, everybody else would, because he was that awesome.
But
After the fact,
but then
it turns out
Karjai.
that he randomly went to planets and destroyed their cultures for no reason.
We'll talk about that in a minute, though.
It's
Anyways.
not for no reason.
My favorite was
there
his
was no
discussion
reason.
about how he'd have killed the giant monster, and then people would attack him because they saw a big giant dude wearing battle armor standing in the middle of a smoking wreckage of a village.
mhm,
That was funny.
mhm.
Okay, anyways, we're gonna keep moving on with with quest discussion before lore discussion. So,
Yes.
yeah, so V died, and then we
Rip.
spend most of the rest of the quest chasing after the Dragonkin. One of which, what is it?
Tarshak.
His name Tarshak?
His name is
Tarshak.
He is a
Calabash.
dactyl.
We'll discuss this more in the lore, I guess, later.
Silpath.
But there are a lot of dragon. But for some Dragonkin. But for some reason, Sithap is missing.
He's
the one kid
missing. We even got one with a very
Doo,
similar
doo.
name that was not him.
Silpath.
Silpath. I actually thought it was a typo when I first saw it.
It's Silketh, not Silkath.
Or yeah, Silpath.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we pretty much go and chase after Tarshak for the rest of the quest to...
And over the course of the quest, he mutates because of
Yep.
Things.
during the quest, it's revealed how, like, his connection to the Stone of, like, Dragonkin connection to the Stone of Joss.
Yeah, we learn a
Yeah.
lot about their connection and like the way
Between
that it
them-
works.
Between them, the Stone of Joss, and the false users.
And if there's one thing I can say about this quest, they dealt with every single pre-quest complaint I heard
Mm-hmm.
perfectly.
Whoa. Really?
From what's with this Dragonkin concept art? Are the Dragonkin getting another graphical upgrade?
No, just one of them.
Or
To worries about V, I was really impressed with how well they dealt with every single worry that I or others had. It was impressive.
and then of course the Baynor thing. We can't kill
Yeah.
Dragonkin without Baynor. Now you
And
know.
then there we go. Let's collapse a Baynor mine on top of them.
And jabbed one in his neck. Go for it.
It was
Yeah,
very
and
well,
then-
very well done.
Yeah, but as mentioning, we chase Tarshak through, and then we have a very interesting series of boss fights. First of all, I want to say that I face tanked the Dragonkin fire breath thing, and then promptly went and fought Tarshak the first time without healing. I'm just
Well
gonna
the
done.
Addy Dragon?
Well
Yeah.
done.
no.
I
This
did
is
the same
after
thing,
the Addy
actually.
Dragon.
I
You
didn't
should be
think
very
to
proud
bring,
of yourself.
I didn't think to bring anti-dragon potions because they never work on Dragonkin, and I didn't expect an actual dragon to be there.
Yeah.
Not a dragon.
Well, I
Yeah,
saw it
Dragon.
in the doorway. It was like something's behind
that's
this
really
door.
an
I'm like,
Addy
I
Dragon.
should probably
Not a
go and get food and stuff just to make sure.
See, I had 4 food with me, so I just sat there and I prayed mage and hoped for the best.
But
And
I'm
it
talking
worked.
about
I
after
didn't
that,
take a lot of damage.
when you get burninated by whichever dragonkin it was, and
Saga.
Yeah.
you take 10k
I-
damage. I didn't
That's true.
heal between that and the first boss fight. So I
Oh,
started the
wow.
boss fight with like 2k HP.
Oh
I was
my
like,
This is
oh, shit.
fine.
I didn't die though.
Nice.
Very well
Yeah,
done.
you didn't hit too hard for a boss.
Yeah.
Well, if
That
you're
one-
at
he
range,
was just
it
kind of
fine.
slapping you around.
I did that one pretty much no food with melee too.
Oh, God. Dragonkin's slapping, though. Apparently, that's how they resolve their conflict, by slapping each other and throwing
Cat fight.
fireballs.
Yes, that is perfectly
Yes.
acceptable.
Making anti-Dragonkin pocket slot items.
But yeah, so there's that. So the first boss fight was pretty simple. It was just he either went and slapped at you, or did that chargy slam thing.
Round smash thingy.
And then after that, you went and chased him as he continues mutating to. Was the next one Phalanx Room?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Phalanx.
like
Yeah.
Route layer. Speaking of that, as soon as I saw it, I immediately muttered "rip" because Sakurth has that suggestion, or had the suggestion for grot worms, like a mix of grot worms and dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It was in that
I-
tunnel.
I think that
Mhm.
after Adamant Dragons came out, we were all wondering, all right, what about that one that's down in near the KBD,
Yep.
QBD layer?
Yeah, and then I immediately just went rip on that. And
Oh, the one
I mean,
staircase that was down there.
Yeah.
I
granted,
never
they
even
left
noticed
a
that,
lot
but-
of doors about there.
I
for
kind of knew
expansion.
exactly where to go just because of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I had
there's
no
there's
idea.
That door. There's two doors in there. There's one in the ancient cavern, and there's one in the other one too, in the Brimhaven. You know, there's a couple different ones in Brimhaven.
Yeah.
They did that pretty well. Lots of places you could go in the future.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's that. Then you chase. Then he slaps around Phalak with a fireball, and then other stuff happens. And then we go to the main boss fight, which is under
An abomination.
which is the abomination that
And I loved it.
Tarshak turned into. And yeah, that was
I
one of the
I
best
hated
boss
that
fights.
fight for specific reasons. Food spam.
Well,
Pure
it did involve
spam.
food spam. This is
Yeah, there
true.
was a bunch of unavoidable damage, but the concepts behind it
That-
were wonderful.
The
Yeah, I
concept
loved
was
the
great.
concept.
I loved
Yeah.
the idea of it, but oh my god, Jagex, let us avoid damage.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all I can say.
I'm trying to get the post-quest item from him, and I bought around 3,000 rocktails, used them all up, didn't get it.
What? The
Apparently,
cape?
it's extremely rare too. So.
Yeah, the cape
Extremely,
is-
extremely rare.
It is super rare,
Which
is
I
funny
got.
because it's not even a very good cape.
I got everything else on the drop table. Everything else. But that.
Wait, what item are you
On
trying
the
to
plus
get?
side, though, his drops
There's
are
The
pretty
Abomination
decent.
Cave.
There's a yeah, the abomination boss drops this cape. That's it's a
Here's what it
decent
looks
mid-level
like, by the
melee
way.
cape.
Alright.
But I think it's like 100 mil plus on the GE just because it.
I saw 200
price
mil
just because
plus.
it's so rare.
You guys do realize there is a very easy way to just kite it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just kite it around the middle circle. It
Takes
doesn't
a
change
while.
the fact that the first half was still food spam and lots of unavoidable damage.
Well,
Yeah, you
and then
had to
even
tank
and then
bombs,
even
too.
the second half wasn't exactly that simple because
Yeah.
of all of the environmental stuff. Like if
I always
Like,
have
I
rocks
wasn't-
drop on me.
I
though.
wasn't
Yeah.
taking damage from the abomination. I was taking damage from rock drop,
Yep.
drop, constantly.
It would
Yeah.
lag out my computer. I would get
It
so
was
many rock
straight up
drops.
lagging me out. I couldn't do anything.
yeah,
He wasn't the problem. It's the
I
environment.
did-
that kept-
I did like, especially in the second half of the fight where you don't even have to attack. I think
Yes.
Geena was like, I only killed it with environmental damage.
Yeah, me
Mhm.
too.
And then I got
Yep,
down to
same.
the last part, and it's like, hey, it's not hitting the last 100-something damage, so I poked it.
Yeah,
Yep.
you just
Yeah.
have to do the last hit and you're fine.
Yeah. So I mean, but I love that, especially because you're not designed to necessarily deal damage. You can actually pray melee, and it takes a huge chunk of its damage off.
Mhm.
We're so like, we're so
Condition.
Well, I don't know who
Conditioned
we are.
to
Gina
that-
is not one of those people. Like, as
We're so
soon as I
conditioned that
started
protection
seeing it, I
prayers
was
don't do
praying.
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
That when it actually does, it's like, wait, what? I know the same thing
Yeah.
happened in, was it Birthright of the Dwarves,
I
where
think
you
so.
can
Yeah.
pray
Yeah.
ranged and against the cannons, and it's like you're either taking 2k a hit or you're taking 200 a hit, and then you're like,
Drastic
wait,
difference.
this works?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I actually soul split
Okay,
the abomination
speaking of
because
the
I
way
didn't
this
expect
works-
anything to work.
Same here.
Yeah, there's something on the wait this works category. When you're going through the dungeon to get the protective charm, there's a crate pushing puzzle, and you can actually push 2 stacked crates at the same time.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that either.
Yeah.
I didn't either, but I was glad when I found out you could.
Yeah. I was like, I don't have any idea how to do this if I can't push
Yeah, it's like,
2.
you look like there's
So
no more
I guess I'll
option,
just
and you
try.
finally decide to just give it a try.
And then it moved, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
That was
What
easy.
logic is this?
logic where
On
that
from-
whatever strength levels we got actually matter now.
Yeah.
If we're done discussing the quest, I just wanted to give a shout out to Mod Wilson. He did a really good job.
Yeah, he did.
We're definitely not done
so-
discussing the quest yet, but yes.
Can,
Okay.
can we talk about the lore then?
Yes. I
Lore!
want
Lore!
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
can I lead with this one?
to go for it.
Yes. All right. So the first thing that we understand from this quest is about V, and what we like. Yeah, shut up, thing.
Yeah, the part where
Say
he
a
lost
thing.
a bet.
Yes.
Yeah, he lost a bet and had to leave the world and stuff, so he went off with Cerato and
We get a
while
ton of his
fleeing-
backstory. Apparently, he was in Gielinor throughout the God Wars, and he was this legendary adventurer who would just defend the Fremnik province as well as go off and do quests. He was kind of like us, actually, which
Yep.
is one of the reasons why I'm thankful that he died, because what place is there for us in a world
Yeah.
that V exists?
Well, we suck as World Guardians.
You
Look at
are
our track
awful.
record. We have to have gods help us do anything. And then even then we screw it up.
Well, to be fair, the World Guardians never really had anything to guard. There were no major wars like of the size that are threatening now.
Hmm.
So,
Well, that is fair, but
anyways,
let's
go online.
keep going. At the end of the God War, since V was mostly non-aggressive, because he was just so good about it, Guthix said, "All right, you get to say goodbye to your people while I go and ban all of these other gods." And
Yep.
there was this massive feast, and V left, and he decided that he'd go across the universe for two millennia, and try and like solve people's problems out there. Unfortunately,
That's not how problems work.
he was not respective of the local cultures and ended up probably causing more problems than he solved.
We learned this
Mhm.
from Karshai.
Both Karshai and the Book of the Gods.
Yeah.
And, he had some seriously bad plans for Gielinor
Yeah.
once he got back. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, it was
First,
kind
I'd
of a
say that.
cool and noble idea to team up with all the lesser gods to take out the big ones one at a time, and then he would have fake his own death so that the world could once again be godless.
but then he also said that he was going to kill those lesser gods as well, and then
Yep.
he was also going to implement like harsh training regimes for like the Fremnik people, completely disrupting their culture, making it
Yeah.
so the Moon Clan have to focus more on combat magics than peaceful magics, and you know how the hippies would like that.
Exactly.
How did I
So-
miss this in the Book of the Gods?
It's right there in this.
Right there.
Did you have to do?
I do-
Did you have to do the task thingies to do that, to get all of that?
No.
Really? Because I didn't
Yes,
see
yes,
any
you
of
do.
this.
Well,
to get all
Once
the
you
tasks.
have all the tasks done for any of them.
Oh,
you
I
get
don't have that. That would be why.
Yeah.
Okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
Yes.
Yeah, you need
Where
to
did
finish all the
Karshai say
tasks.
It is all there. We also see that V has stumbled across many other gods in his travels, including like at least half a dozen other hero gods. So
Yep.
Thorlah, do not give up hope. There are plenty of other hero gods.
Also-
Where did Karshai
and
say that V
also-
was doing crazy stuff?
There are
Yeah.
plenty of other hero gods for Jagex to kill.
Hold on.
And
Also, I want to mention the Queen of Ashes and Zautak.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
those are two
Yeah.
gods that were revealed, and they are terrifying, and I don't want to meet them.
Also, Wilson has been teasing on the forums that, because in the Book of the Gods it mentions that Zautak already has his tendrils on Gielinor.
Mhm.
Wilson mentioned that Zautak has been set up since 2005. Whatever content was released in 2005 was the first piece of setup for Zautak.
okay, time to go through all the 2000.
Yeah,
Yep.
and now
Let's
it's
go,
time
let's
to
go,
look
let's
up
go.
Runic,
updates
you're
on
on
2005.
What's funny though is that mention kind of goes against what the Book of the Gods specifically says about Zautak, and that his tendrils have shown up since the Sixth Age began.
Who
But it's
cares?
very
Let's go, let's
possible
go.
that it's wrong anyway. I
2005
personally think it's the Jade Vine.
Easter event, rubber chickens. Clearly, that is Zaltak confirmed.
Yes.
I think you're right.
Okay,
Interestingly,
so,
the farming skill was also released in 2005.
And Slayer.
Indeed.
and Slayer.
Also Celtigrim, so Celtigrim is going to be the location of Zautak.
Love how we're just like,
Again.
Pharaohs and the Abyss.
Wait, the Dagonoth Prime was unreleased.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
because we all go to the wiki.
Gilead.
Desert Treasure was released, which means
Well, guys,
Azzy.
Anyway,
Azzy
let's
is
keep going.
Azzy Zaltak.
Morning,
That part
Zaltak
2 was released. Zautak is the light puzzle.
Can I keep going?
Oh, dear.
While we
go.
all
No.
try and figure
Yeah,
out
go.
what was released
Go,
in
go, go.
And
2005.
skeletal wyverns.
The Abyss, to be honest. I mean, the Abyss has a bunch of tentacles in it.
Anyways, go.
All right. So, V has these massive plans when he's coming back, and he comes back, and during this entire time, he has been hounded by this Dragonkin named Tarshak. And why is this advert playing? This Dragonkin named Tarshak.
Provided a great background for your story.
Yeah.
This
Great.
Dragonkin named Tarshak was hounding him this entire time, but Tarshak is completely incompetent.
Tarshak's
So
like-
it didn't really amount to much.
The coyote with Roadrunner.
So eventually, he gets back to Gielinor, and it's like he's served up to the Dragonkin on a plate. And at some point, the Necrocertes have captured Tarshak, and they are planning to use him for this big idea that Sekirth had.
Is it still Necrocertes, or have they changed it to Necrosites? Because
I have no
in
idea.
the
They
quest,
seem to go back
they,
and forth.
multiple times they said Necrosites.
No, it's Necrocertes, because there's always that R I see.
They seem to pronounce it Necrocerts in the podcast.
Okay?
I
Necrocertes.
feel like it's either a typo or.
Alright, anyways.
Yeah, go on.
These
Lud.
these Necrocerts, in the form of Calabath, Strissath, and Sekirth, they've
Not
all captured Tarshak. They found the Elder Mirror in this place called the Vault, which is like, it's only mentioned during this one part of the quest, and it spooks the hell out of me because
I saw a really cool idea that it's the Elder Vault, and it can store other things inside of it.
I
Hold
want
on.
to go
I have
in
one.
there.
I have one thing to mention. So, which one is which? For those of us who are maybe a little bit rusty on Dragonkin, which one is the Dactyl and which one is the Necrocerts,
the-
Necrosites, Necro?
Tarshak
Dactyl
is
is-
No, like what do they
Dactyl.
stand
Oh,
for?
Karapak.
The Necrocertes are the angry rage ones. The Dactyls are the science ones.
There.
yes,
Ones
the
that
Dactyl
rage
are
Yes.
the Dactyl are the scientists who prefer to do things without combat, it seems, and
Or with mild combat.
With just
like,
throwing
Yeah,
fireballs at each other.
They create things that do combat for them.
Yes.
the Necrocerts. I can't.
Necrosites.
Necrocertes, Necrosites,
Wait,
The
Vultures.
The Necros.
Necros.
Necromantic.
Necros. They're the ones who have given into the
Romantic.
curse, and they're like enraged all the time. And
Hey,
it
Just
seems like killing a false user will eventually like make them calm down for a moment. So, like their
Yeah.
part of the torment is gone after they kill a false user.
Which was confirmed in the journals that drops from the Addy Dragons. That was especially interesting.
Yes,
Didn't they say
because
that in Rodham, though, after they killed Lucian, that the rage has subsided
Yeah.
a little?
They mentioned it there. It was just like the most interesting and most, like direct reference to it with Sakrith's journal, where he
So-
basically straight up
Sakrit.
goes,
This
this is the first journal I've written in a really long time. All the others have turned into dust. The rage subsides enough for me to be able to write again. It's
Kitten,
pretty
go.
cool.
Sorry, I was just going to say, can we reliably say there's a graphical difference between them? Just thinking of in-game stuff, considering how like white Karapak is compared
I'd say
to
the
how green the other
Dactyls
ones
seem
are.
like they have lighter colors.
There's
for the most
not
part.
really a graphical thing.
Can we not talk at once?
I agree with Lime.
There is not really a graphical difference between the two. You just have to know their names, and at the beginning of the
Yeah,
quest, it's 4 versus 4.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because it seemed some of the more notable ones sort of have a color difference. Just I wasn't sure if it was reliable enough to be
See-
like, yes, this one is this, that one is that.
Well,
I would have agreed because Carapath is very white and Sakrith is very dark, but Phalanx is also very dark, but he's on
Yeah.
Karapak's
That's
side.
the thing. I actually went through and looked at each of the Dragonkin individually to see if there's any noticeable graphical differences, I would say no, it doesn't really color code them.
Carapac has turned white because A, they wanted to differentiate him from the rest of the Dragonkin because he's such a special individual, and
He's
And
a
he also
basement
lives in the
dweller.
basement.
well, not only that, apparently he is white because of all of the experiments that he has done, and that has like completely ruined his complexion or something.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
I would love to see an acne-riddled Dragonkin, personally.
Oh dear God, no. No, just
Wow.
no.
Dragonkin
No.
who can't
No.
pronounce his
No.
own name because of lisp.
No.
Oh dear.
No.
No, Fang.
No.
Hi guys, my name is Thackeray.
No.
No.
Something's coming for you now.
Carapac
No
is like
dot
the Hulk,
ABC.
except he's white and he's always like that.
He's always angry.
Anyways,
Oh,
moving on.
Okay, so this quest, it revealed a bunch about the inner Dragonkin politics. Well, firstly, they never work together unless they really have to.
Yeah.
Unless
It's
they
really their bickering is really, really amusing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
especially since there's only like, well, after the quest, 11 Dragonkin left.
And
Yeah.
they're like,
I'm
and they're
just gonna
like,
pretend that touching the Stone of Jas is the reason we can understand them, though, because when they're sitting there talking to each other and we're just eavesdropping, they're either speaking in English or we speak Dragonkin now.
Mhm.
Wait, cool.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about why do the Dragonkin randomly speak English?
Exactly. So there's got to be some, we've got like a Douglas Adams kind of ear thing.
Oh,
The
dear.
little worms.
A babelfish.
The babelfish, yeah. That's what it was.
Babelfish.
I was trying to remember the name. Thank you.
I love
Yeah.
that book.
we have jas fished.
This quest also answers the question: what happens when a Dragonkin decides to become a god? And
it doesn't.
They
It-
don't.
well, in this case, I think the reason that Tarshak went so horribly wrong is because his connection was directly to the stone itself. And this is the part of the thread where Walter's saying, insert Lime's Godzilla talk for like the 50th time.
I
Yes.
admittedly, when he started growing, I really hoped that he would show up outside the shore of Catherby, and just walk out, and then we just have one of them scream, Gorziwa! And that would be kind of the end of it.
God.
God, no.
Let them fight.
Yeah, that would have
Um,
been great.
so, the problem with Tarshak being connected to the stone like that is because whenever he needed knowledge, he would instantly get it, and whenever he needed power, he would instantly get it. And it's very difficult to do that in a way that's sustainable, because I'm pretty sure that in biology you can only have a certain amount of power. That's why like Godzilla wouldn't work in real life, because his legs would collapse under his own weight, and his lungs would be unable to physically give him enough oxygen for those cells to live. In Tarshak's case, he just got overwhelmed with power and overwhelmed with knowledge to the point where he just like mutated randomly. And
His power level is too damn high.
I actually
Yeah.
think that if we had not stopped him at that
Over
point,
9,000.
if we had not stopped him at the point we would have, the monstrosity would have just like imploded on itself.
Exploded, yeah.
Yeah,
He would have no.
I
he would have
quite
just
honestly
imploded.
agree with that.
And
I don't think he would have survived.
what is interesting is when you look at Phalanx's experimentation log. It says that Tarshak isn't dead per se.
Indeed.
He
Which explains
says
why
that
we can refight him.
the tissue is still alive, which is the tissue is still alive and it regenerates, but it doesn't actually live like we think it lives because it's not doing anything.
The cells are able to.
Yeah, the cells do
Bro.
regenerate.
Think of it
And,
as a single-cell organism. It doesn't have a
Yeah,
brain,
it's like
but
a
it does
bacteria.
stuff.
It keeps going.
I love the last line of his journal, though. I have yet to perfect a process for grafting a new head onto the body to give it mobility and a level of control.
That will
So
totally
he
end
wants
well.
to bring it back.
That
This
would
is
be
this is
great.
Phalanx's journal, by the way. So I'm not sure if we
You
mentioned
can
it.
see why
but
Carol-
after-
Who is
hold
one
on,
of
hold on,
the
hold on, hold on.
technically good guys.
Hold on. So I'm not sure if we mentioned it, but after the quest, there's several post-quest things you can do. One of them that I highly recommend is going and talking to Karshai. We mentioned some of his stuff earlier, but also there are Addy dragons that are in the
Ancient cave.
that are in the ancient cave.
Or ancient
That
caverns.
little thing, the ancient caverns, little passageway thing that
Near the
Dragonkin were in.
near the Dragon Forge.
Yeah. So there's Addy dragons in there. If you go and kill them, they will rarely drop journal pieces from the 4 major Dragonkin that were in the
You know,
quest.
Not even journal pieces.
you know,
They're just the
speaking of
straight up
that
journal.
Or
location-
yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay,
from
speaking of that
Sakura,
location, how
Strasath-
did Kuradel not realize there was a Dragonkin lair next door?
Because they were pretty well hidden, I'd like to think.
Yeah, it'd be
Though
I
that is
mean,
kind of hilarious.
It was. I had trouble finding the door the first time in, but
Yeah.
it's like just saying.
We of course need to take a
Yeah,
moment to
everybody
appreciate
has
trying
to-
to.
Where several of us went by and was like, "Hey, wouldn't Kuradel be interested since we're going Dragonkin hunting?"
Yeah.
You know what I find even funnier? Is that the only way to get to that door is to walk right past Kuradel.
Yep.
So the Dragonkin really they had to walk with purpose right past Kuradel.
Got him.
And
Yes.
just stare right at her.
No, it was
Yeah,
not.
like-
Maybe
no,
that's
it's-
why she hates them.
Yeah, wouldn't be suspicious at all. Just some Dragonkin go by and just carting out of a dragon in there. Then suddenly there's the player just walking by with this steamy mithril key. Just like, hey, I'm going on a quest. Sorry, bye. Just
See you
keep your
guys.
monsters in
I
your
know you hate
caves.
Dragonkin, but
And
you
this
just
is why
stay there.
This is why I avoided getting tasks from Kuradel now. She really does not like me.
Yeah. But can we take a moment to appreciate the joy of that dialogue when you tried to use the mithril on the mold?
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Oh yeah.
Wait, when you try and use what?
when
If you
try-
tried to use a mithril bar on the mold
Using-
without
Oh yeah,
using
that.
it on a mithril dragon first,
yeah.
Yeah.
the I don't know why you think this is supposed to work, but nothing
I live in a
interesting
magical
happened.
universe. Why can't I? It was like
rub
we live in a
twice,
magical
yeah.
universe. Why can't I just rub 2 things together and have them magically melt or something like that?
I mentioned well in my stream and in the YouTube video that'll be up eventually. I mentioned, well, this is how rocking out worked, so why wouldn't it work here?
That's
Yeah.
great.
Rocking out, that quest.
Yeah.
The
Also
use
five
this
hot
on
buttons.
everything else and eventually something will work quest. Basically, the
Mark
Dragonkin
Wilson-
are Kuradel's really noisy neighbors. Yes,
Maud
Runic.
Wilson also did Rocking Out, so.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways. But...
So,
yeah.
proceeding.
Yes.
Quick random side note. You might like this, Runic. There's actually a red dragon reference in this quest.
Yeah.
The Hannibal red dragon. When Tarshak says to the others, "You owe me awe."
Yep, I know.
I quite liked that.
So, during the quest, we see a lot about the Dragonkin inner politics. And we see that both of the sides are not very organized because everyone just...
They all hate each other.
Mhm.
They all hate each other.
And it's not just that they hate each other. It's like an inbred hate from the Stone of Jas, because it's like we're all suffering under this curse and nobody's doing anything about it, even though they're all doing something about it.
Well, it's not so much that, but you can see Phalanx doesn't like Carapac because Carapac's completely insane. And you've got, and then you've got the random Dragonkin trio that showed up during the Ritual of the Majrat.
Yeah.
We've got Sithav, who's missing, probably because he hates everyone.
Probably.
We've got Strasath, who doesn't like Sakirth because he got all arrogant. And you've got Sakirth, who doesn't like Strasath because he's not getting any respect.
It's kind of like just a big girls' sleepover party that just got really bad.
Yup. Yup.
And then there's actually parts where they hit each other and they're like, "Hey, you hurt me."
Yeah, exactly.
I love the random like slow motion fireballs at each other in the quest. And while I know that that's a graphical limitation, like, but the fact that it's just like this slow moving fireball towards another Dragonkin,
And they
before-
just stand there and
Yeah.
take it.
they just take
I
it.
loved it. Like just the delay between like I punch you now and it's like, oh god.
That hurts so much. cat-like reflexes.
This is why random Dragonkin fireballs will have to remain a thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
Yes,
then
'cause
you've got Calabath, who is randomly interrogating White Knights.
So it wasn't so
It's like
random
I-
once we found out, like, because the second journal specifically says something along the lines of he's trying to interrogate these White Knights to learn about Saradomin's
Saradomin apparently
Saradomin's
has a
weaknesses.
weakness.
Hold on.
but everybody else thinks it's a terrible idea because he's way too strong for them to try and kill yet.
About Calabath, though, did anybody see that he had a distract option?
I did,
Yes.
but I have no
Yes.
idea why.
Yeah.
There was
I
no
actually
way to
tried
do
it and
anything with
said,
it, though.
this is a terrible idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Pretty
don't
much.
do it. It's like
I
don't do this.
legitimately, I don't understand why the option was there because it didn't do anything.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
future quest.
Yeah,
But
'cause
why
it
would
just,
they-
it just
He's gone afterwards. That's
I
the problem.
actually have.
Which
I have a
I
feeling
went back
that.
afterwards just to check, and
Yeah, I
he's
did
not
too.
there.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
future quest.
Go, Runic.
No, I have a feeling that
Wow.
they had something slightly different in mind for that puzzle, and they scrapped at least that portion, but they accidentally left the distract option on Calabath.
Yeah,
That
I
would be
can
my
see
best
that.
guess.
Entirely
Yeah.
possible.
And
well,
they
I was
just had to
thinking-
patch it up with a thing saying, this is a terrible idea. Don't do
Yeah,
it.
I was thinking it was sort of like a last minute thing of once you get there, you could try to save the White Knight or talk to
That's
the
what I
White Knight or do something or distract him and get across to do something with the White Knight. But I think
Yeah.
they just said like, never mind, we can't do this, or like
Yeah.
there was a coding restriction or something happened.
Yeah,
Or it just didn't
something must
fit.
have happened.
Yeah, it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's like, how does a White Knight that probably just got knocked out and dragged there, how would he possibly find his way out?
Also, how would he get past Kuradel? Like, can you see the Dragonkin dragging a White Knight past? It's like, hey, don't mind me. I've just got this White Knight that I'm taking on a
it's-
walk.
It's just a
I like to think that there's other entrances that we haven't found yet.
No, I know,
but
but
just
it's
the
more-
funniest part to me
That's not fun.
is if you look at the layout of Kurodel's cavern, their lair must be right next to her cavern.
She just has to knock down a wall, and she's got Dragon Kitten there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
She's
especially
really
funny.
missing out.
Yeah.
That'll be her next expansion. Is the Dragonkin lair?
Mm.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, Lime, do you have anything else you want to mention about this part?
About Saradomin's weakness, it is the latest in a long line of Jagex just fueling the Saradomin hate.
Good.
It is quite
It really
annoying
was
at
this
this
time.
point because, like, you can't go 10 seconds without hearing somebody say Wing Gripper or something like that.
Child killer.
It's
In
just
this
so.
specific case, yeah.
At this point, it is so dumb. Like, it's becoming popular to hate Saradomin. Well,
Good.
it's become
It's
popular
like,
to hate
now we
Saradomin.
have Calabath as the new face of the hate Saradomin movement.
But to be fair, Saraderps did not do themselves any favors in this last world event.
That is very true.
Oh
they
no!
didn't.
Oh no, they did
Yeah.
not.
But anyways, yeah, I also want, before we move on any further, I want to mention one thing that Karshai said, where he was talking about Bane Metal. It's the way that Bane Metal works is that it attunes to actually hate the enemy. Like, the metal itself hates the
That's-
enemy.
That's not even post quest dialogue. That's actually from his Crochet's Troubles.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
that is
still super
post quest,
interesting.
but he talks about it specifically in post quest. It says
Mhm.
the metal wants to hurt the enemy and make it suffer, and the boosted damage is literally just a side effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which leads to my one lore issue with the quest, and that is, how did that Bane metal get attuned to the Dragonkin before it fell on...
It's because they were doing experiments with it on dragons.
I thought it was because he had already Phalanx or whatever had stabbed him in the neck with the Bane ore earlier, so it was kind of a holdover.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is he stabbed him with a Dragonkin Bane, and then just the Bane collapsing on him injured him further,
Mhm.
and then we cut off his head.
Yep.
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 Off with his head.
Walter says one thing he found interesting was the theory that the dragon can take on aspects of the false users they kill. We mentioned this
agree.
earlier with, what was it, Strissath?
Sakir.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sakir.
Sakir.
Exactly.
Strissath was doubting Sakirth because he thought that Sakirth was taking on Lucian's arrogance, which is Lucian's arrogance is obviously a well-known...
It is not nearly as
Legendary,
big.
in fact.
It is not nearly as arrogant as Zemregal, though.
No, but
That's true.
Lucian's
Not even
dead and
close.
They haven't
Zemregal's
killed
not.
Zemi yet, so.
That is unfortunate. We need to fix that.
No, I'm fine with Zemregal being around because Zemregal is comically arrogant. He's like
Yes.
he's like one of the guys in high school that's like, oh yeah, I'm good. I can do this. I can do that. I can do this, and they actually can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
He can blow himself up.
He's the
with
guy
Calvo.
who wrote, "This is me. I'm amazing."
Yes.
So that
Yeah.
should kind of sum it all up.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just sitting here on the wiki page, and I didn't realize how many amazing references there are to other games and stuff with V's Tales of Heroics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Aren't
I
you
think
another
they're all
story-
references?
And another story from V, he talks about someone that he should have known was up to no good with his "Would you kindly this" and "Would you kindly that."
I totally caught that.
I didn't get
also,
that one.
well, I
There's
mean,
another one that makes a reference to Stellar Dawn.
there are 20 different
Whoa.
stories that he can have or something
Yeah.
like that. So, yeah.
Oh my god. One story has the quoted line, "I guess this is the case of divine intervention," and mentions a person fiddling with their eyeglasses. Possibly a
Wow.
reference to CSI Miami.
Oh,
Just
Prob-
a little bit.
That's amazing.
I think that's all we have for the quest, though.
I do think that's all we have for
agree
the
with you.
quest.
So,
Well, I think there was one thing we might want to mention. Me and Fang and Lime were talking about. This is
Go.
the number of Dragonkin.
Ah, yes.
yeah,
yes,
go.
there are now 11 known Dragonkin, both dead and alive.
Yes.
And of the ones that were alive as of the 6th age, there are 9.
Yes. And we also know of, like, 3 other Dragonkin that are certainly dead, but we don't know their names.
And we know of one that we don't have a name for yet.
Uh, but
Fossil. Fossil.
can we talk
Shall
about Fork Eye's Journal now? Since
Yeah.
we've
Yes.
gone through
Yeah.
the quest.
Briefly.
Well, we should probably finish up on our thought on which living dragonkin there are.
Yeah, I'll go with. I'll list all the ones that are currently alive as of Heroes Welcome, and that is Sakirth, Sithap, Strissath, Calabath, Silkath, Carapac, Phalax, and yeah, that's them. And then there's Taraket, who we don't know if he's alive or dead. He's technically the father of Mr. Mordod. I can't pronounce his name properly.
Yeah, that guy.
And then there is the Fossil Island Dragonkin.
Who we have grown to call Fossilak for now.
Yeah, Fossilath.
Fossilac.
His name
But
is
then what
Fossil
about...
Dude,
So
and that is
Lime posted... This was a couple hours ago, but Lime posted this list. Hold on. Where's this list? Let's...
And
Drop
then of
this
course,
down
think
Who is
you have-
Lasthese? And obviously
Oh,
we have
Lasthese is
4K.
daughter
Lasthese is
of-
4K's daughter. She's dead as of 4th age.
Okay.
She's
So
dead.
both 4K and Lasthese are
Yep.
are gone. but
She
they
she
existed.
turned Necrocert, and she was killed on the Necrocert's raid on the Adamant Dragon Dungeon.
Wait,
Well, no,
where was that
no.
confirmed?
In 4K's
Okay.
journal.
Wait, no,
No,
that's the Adamant
wasn't
Dragon.
that
That's
Drag-
the Adam
that
Dragon
named after her?
Lasthese. Forkai named
No?
one of his
Yes.
Forkai named one of his first adamant dragon Lasthese.
No?
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Lasthese was actually his daughter.
No,
Mhm.
there was
Yeah,
also...
I think it sounds like there's two. There's a Lasthese that is his daughter, and there's a Lasthese that's a
And it said that she went
Dragonkin.
Necrocerts and was also killed.
lore fight. He
Lore
named
fight.
a dragon
Lore fight.
after his daughter.
Yeah.
Well, where
And
was he? Hang on,
He,
let me look at
he said that he named
Yeah.
an adamant dragon after his daughter and said that dragon was more of a daughter to him than
Yeah.
his own
But
daughter.
he also has said that she died.
Yeah.
Because she went Necrocert and was killed.
Hang on.
Okay, so both of them
But
are
she is
dead.
not alive.
Yeah, she's
Walter
not alive.
saying the dragon did.
Well, they don't really
I think
mention
the one that they're
last...
talking about who was killed in
Yeah,
the
last-
Necrocert raid was the dragon, though.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
And
Never mind.
His daughter's still dead, apparently.
No, Lasthese is never mentioned to have died. Like, Lasthese
named his-
Dragonkin was never mentioned to have died. Lasthese Adamant Dragon was mentioned to have died in the raid
Yeah.
of Karabak's lab.
Yeah, he made-
So
but
She
Lasthese
should
could
have
be
died as well.
It does make sense though that Lasthese the Dragonkin may be dead because I mean technically she's the last female or the only female Dragonkin we know of.
Yeah.
Yeah, he named his first
So-
successful adamant dragon Lasties after his daughter, although this is more of a child than his own, as it doesn't feel the pull. He feels he can fix her anger with therapeutic sessions, as she has a keen mind instead of just a primal one. And then that's in Calor 12, and then Calor 42, he says the Necrocertes discovered his lab, Lasties was slain, and the Necrocertes would obviously come back. 4K destroyed what he could and had to leave the Addies to take care of themselves.
But Lasties that was slain in the raid on his lab was the
a
dragon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not the Dragonkin, who
In
is
fact, I'm
either
pretty
dead
sure-
or alive.
I'm pretty sure she's the skeleton that was, when you first walked down. Or the
dragon
Or I think
skeleton?
the statue. Sorry, the statue. The statue that's right there, I think, was in reference to Lasties.
Oh, maybe.
Sorry, not skeleton.
No, but it said that another one of the Necrocertes was killed. Or was it repelled?
I thought he said killed, which is why I was thinking it was Lasties.
It's not... No, he's repelled one Necrocertes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
his beloved Lasties, which was the dragon, the adamant dragon,
Yes.
was killed.
Okay.
So Lasties, the Dragonkin, is still MIA.
See, I thought there was a reference to her being dead. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think you're just confusing.
Possibly.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Them choosing to have a story about him naming a dragon Lasties certainly doesn't.
Yes.
That is completed.
Yeah.
We do have a list of all the Dragonkin, and that actually brought us directly into Forkai's journal, where
Yep.
it talks more about the dragon making program, where they decide to go into metal dragons, and they decide like the first one would be a bronze dragon, and like for whatever reason they decide they'd go in the progression of the metals.
Probably because
well, I mean,
each
with
metal
each
is
metal,
hard to
each
temper.
metal is stronger, so it makes sense.
Yes.
Well, why not just jump to like
Well,
mithril or something?
but
Because
if
they
you're...
have to
enough
learn how to
smithing up.
temper the metals, and
Yeah.
the weaker the dragons are, the more they can deal with them early on,
Yep.
until they perfect the
I
process.
suppose.
They needed to level their smithing first.
Yeah.
That too.
They're dragon smithing with new elite skill confirmed.
Yeah.
So-
Yes.
They went to bronze, it was mindless, and then they went to iron, it was still mindless. And they just kept going on and on and on, and this was in that plant that they had in Brimhaven. So that entire place, that is now the original Metal Dragon manufactory.
Wait, whoa. When did they say that iron dragons were mindless?
No, they said the bronze ones were.
The bronze ones were
Yeah.
mindless,
Oh,
and
no, they said the iron ones were too. They say it's a creature of fury, not unlike our cousins, the Necrocertes.
yes,
Don't you visit an iron dragon in one of a kind though?
steel.
Oh, it was the steel.
Yeah.
Steel dragon.
Yeah, you're right.
So, like, you can see that the bronze and the iron dragons, they still have what they call the curse, but that's just because of the amount of pain that's inflicted on those dragons. So I'm thinking that the curse behind the Dragonkin is more from the pain.
Of course,
So,
that makes sense to me.
they continue going on and on and on with the various types of dragons.
Interestingly, I just want to point out, interestingly, the journal skips steel.
Yeah, the journal skips steel because, like, you can imagine it's not going to be that much different than iron.
But
Well,
suddenly they're
they're
intelligent.
enough to speak.
Well, they've become intelligent, but that's not going to be. Well, that would be
That would be kind of important.
in any of
Perhaps.
Anyway.
Skip steel. Apparently, was not powerful enough to bear mention or something like that.
probably.
Probably the best way to put it. It wasn't powerful enough or different enough from irons, in his opinion, to bear mention of.
So, they have to make mithril dragons somewhere else because
But
Carapac.
Before you go to Mithril, I want to point out Carapac. Maybe you're going to. Carapac
Yes,
made frost dragons.
Carapac has given up on the program and he's gone to more elemental forces like frost dragons. While
And then
Forkai
eventually
has decided to
Celestials.
keep
Interestingly, he made the frost dragons with white dragons.
with white dragons. While Forkai decided to keep going with his metal dragons, he manages to make the mithril dragon, and eventually he goes back to the Brimhaven plant to make the adamant dragons. then he is attacked because he at first thought that the Adamant Dragon would be his piece de resistance. He was attacked, and then his Adamant Dragon was slain. One of them.
Adamant, and again, just pointing out, Adamant dragons are made from black dragons.
Yes. And then finally they get to the Rune Dragons, which he made on Ketsi, which was recently cleared out after that disaster that befell it.
Yeah.
So, what did they make their Rune Dragons from?
Rune or?
Well, no, I mean, like, what type of dragon?
I'm looking through this. Give me a sec.
QBD black dragons.
Oh, so, like,
Yep.
stronger black dragons. The direct progeny of the
black dragons.
black dragon.
Well, no. They what you call it? They refer to basically all the eggs that they're talking about here are from the QBD.
Yeah, directly
Yeah,
from
it-
QBD.
All of them. They consistently mention that it's from the matriarch's nest.
That's
or-
what
right.
celestial dragons are from too, right?
Celestial dragons
Yes.
are white dragons.
Those are white dragons.
Adamant dragons are black dragons.
And
Yeah,
so
essentially-
that means rune dragons are royal dragons.
Yeah.
Prince dragons.
Pretty much. Well, it could also probably explain
The
why
Prince
there's
Black
the
Dragon.
elites.
The
Yeah, that's
QBD
artist-
gave birth to more than just black dragon. Okay, fair enough.
They are the artists formerly known as black dragons. So,
Anyways, go on.
he manages to infuse the Rune Dragon with rune metal using processes that he stole from Karapak's Frost Dragon experiments. Correct?
Yep.
And eventually, he decides that he wants to make an Orichalcum Dragon, which is a reference to the Dragon,
Yeah, so instead of
Dragon
dragon, it'd be
because that
orichalcum.
just sounds silly. And
You need a
he's
dragon
gone-
You need to fight a dragon with a body.
Yes.
That
this
would be
point,
a great requirement.
Forkai has gone completely insane. He's saying that he is the god of the dragons. And he has completely lost it. And the last thing you see, after you close the book, is you see a Dragonkin burn mark on Ketsi with some ashes, with the examine text, as Dragonkin has been horribly burnt by dragonfire.
Yeah.
Some of my
Wrecked.
favorite lines.
So that was the end of that.
Yeah.
And that's the end
So-
of that.
That Orichalcum dragon tease.
I guess it's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Rossley 39, I think the direct quote is, "For now, my rune dragons seem to be growing listless and agitated. I should deal with that. They will learn to respect me. I am 4K after all. I am their god." And then,
I guess not.
I guess not so much.
No.
Basically, Forkai had a very rude meeting with Barry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very murdered him. That's who it was.
Barry
Yes.
Smash.
Very little
Very
resistance.
smash.
Yes.
How many dragons could a dragon if a dragon could dragons?
Dragon is now a verb, and an adjective, and a noun.
It is all the
Yay.
Because
things. Because Dargans.
Organs, yes.
Too many dragons.
How many
We've got
dragons could a dragon
many
drag in if a dragon drag in if a dragon could drag in dragons?
Dragon.
There you go. Line's
Yes.
got it.
There you go. Improvements.
Yes.
Incredible.
I am now tweeting that.
Yeah.
Good. Fit.
Go.
All right. Anyways, I think that covers what we wanted to talk about with the lore and stuff of Dragonkin and the quest. Does anybody else want to mention anything briefly before we move quickly on into the BTS?
No, because I think we covered everything.
Good. All right. So, in the BTS, we have the first thing up is the Fall of Tuska and the Rise of Raids. So the Fall of Tuska, obviously, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but that you get the
That will be-
cutscene tomorrow, correct?
That'll be tomorrow. Yeah.
And
Yep.
then the
Tomorrow.
raids will be in the following week. So that's a thing.
Yeah.
The
Correct.
raids will have tier 90 tank armor, non-superior versions, and abilities for range, and magic will be available without the raids. The abilities are tradable, so you'd buy them. They're probably going to be obscenely expensive to begin with, of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're
Especially
so
considering you can only loot
expensive.
a boss every 2 days anyway, they're going to be very rare.
I think
But
it's
but they've pointed out that you can get the abilities without raids.
Ah, so they will be things you buy with the respect then.
But yes, but I'm thinking that everything you buy with the respect will be easier to get from raids massively.
Because
Probably.
this is like this is raids content.
yeah.
This is
like-
raids.
Yeah.
This is the main focus. This is Mod Crissel's last major project. But goodbye, Mod Crissel, by
Yes.
the way.
Bye bye, Mod Crissel.
Fare thee well.
I
God, he did so much
He
content.
will be missed. I have mixed opinions on his content, but overall, I liked him.
We won't even
will
talk
be
about
missed.
Walter. Rip Walter.
Walter does not get
Good
any,
heart.
does not get any mention.
Good dot whatever the thing is. Now I have to hate
Okay.
Rowley.
Yeah.
No, bad Walter. Bad. Stop.
Like
Oh.
raids is going to be pretty major. They had to skimp Tuska to go with raids. So
He'd better be
if it's
good.
if it's not major, then I'm gonna be mad.
And not just raids, Mazcab is going to be is just
Yeah.
going to be huge.
Yeah, it's not just raids. We're getting an entire new planet. Do we know? Oh, you're using the portal on her back, so you're going to be. Wait, why are we talking about her landing anywhere on Gielinor? She's gonna be.
She's gonna crash.
She's gonna
She
be
has
a
to-
new moon.
She's gonna crash onto Gielinor. We use the lodestone to get to her
I
wherever
guess
she
never
crashes.
mind. Okay, I guess that works.
And then that will be the way we get to Mazcab through the world window.
And before she just crashes on Xenaris.
just
Rip Walter.
Yes.
Extra moon.
Or
That-
we just appreciate that suddenly we just randomly got the power to space travel and just
yeah,
I mean, it wasn't all that
Yeah.
sudden.
like Wizard Chambers had a more successful space program than I do.
like he sends
Got him.
one monkey into space, it dies, and he's like, everyone else is just fine. Monkey's not fine. Everyone else is fine.
Like
Though from what we
accidentally
understand, the reason the monkey died was because he missed.
Essentially.
He smashed the monkey into the side of Tuska.
Whoops.
Ow. Poor monkey.
killed- I am
And then he,
barely
This is
able-
why-
and then he barely managed to recover the
I am barely able to get a Kerbal to the moon and back in Kerbal Space Program. barely.
talented.
good.
Marimba will have some words about this in a farewell party.
Anyways, we are not even remotely close to on topic.
yeah.
We have, however, gone through an hour and 17 minutes without getting horribly off topic. So, a round of
Hey.
applause to us.
The podcast is still about RuneScape.
It
Yeah,
is.
that's true.
Although I was
Slime
about
did
to
bring up
mention
Kerbals,
Vindy with
but-
regards to the raids.
But let's see. So there's 2 raid bosses, and then there's even harder like achievements that you can do during the bosses that will basically be like, oh, you thought this was hard? Let's make this harder. Such as almost killing a boss and then letting it heal up to full, and then continuing on without banking.
That sounds
Are those
terrifying.
titles?
Achievements. We
It's
don't know what they
titles.
unlock though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Whether they're
yeah.
actual titles or not, they're titles.
Yeah, they call them finesse kills.
They're titles. It's like Zekalian's 300% title. Well, I mean, yeah, that's a thing.
And then there's the whole world of Mazcab to explore. It's procedurally generated like Dungeoneering, but massive, and everybody can be involved. There's mini quests to complete, and from my understanding, basically every day the layout resets. All of the exploration that was made is like redone for a new day to procedurally generate. So every day there'll be new things to explore, new stories to learn about the Gobies and what they do and how you're helping them. There's a new PvP activity that involves helping the Gobies move supplies back and forth. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it looks
Yes,
good.
this looks amazing.
We're all going to be spending a lot of time on.
And there's
Yeah,
a LOL DG
probably.
forest.
Yeah.
That has been
Lol
something
DG
I've been
Forest.
wanting since Dungeoneering came out. Like somewhere else that is not Daemonheim to train Dungeoneering.
Of course, are we training Dungeoneering there?
They did not
No.
say you get Dungeoneering XP.
Okay, well
But
then,
it's effectively Dungeoneering.
yeah, but if you don't get
It's the
Dungeoneering
same
XP, then
randomly
that's
generated idea.
completely different.
That's
that
true.
totally defeats the
Yeah.
point of Dungeoneering being
Well,
a thing.
Dungeoneering is pretty much just defined as exploring Daemonheim, so...
Anyways,
It's
okay.
it's forestoneering.
I am very much
Forest-eneering.
I was very much looking for Gobineering, so yay.
But yeah.
Hey.
So
I like Force
So
better.
yeah, we have raids, Mazcab, and the end of Tuska. I still need to get one of the rewards. Do we know, are the rewards still? Can we still get the rewards?
We will still
from
earn the
Tuska?
rewards. They will just be pricier, is what they said.
Okay, so I need to do one more stabby so I can get the last, or I can get another reward or two. I still need all of the spears, apparently.
What I thought was especially funny was the fact that they're pricing up the rewards when the lamps were already overpriced anyway.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But yeah, so you have that. You have fast lodestone teleports are coming this month. It is another
Sure. A thing.
Hashtag dead content.
Yeah. It's another
Yeah.
Rune Lab suggestion, and it'll use Viswax.
Instead of being the unique divination thing like they originally announced it as, using Viswax. You get 10
Yay.
teleports per Viswax, which is still overpriced in my opinion.
But yeah,
Because normal teleports are cheaper and get you closer to your destination.
but yeah, so there's that. You have the World Wildlife Foundation Big Cats thing update.
It's nice to see another one of these come into the game.
Yeah, they're teaming up with the World Wildlife Fund to raise awareness of endangered and vulnerable big cats. This, according to Walter, this will be great for people who want adorable cat pets.
And
Yes.
great for people to chase a mascot around with.
Yes.
Finally, what the internet wants. More cats. More cats.
The internet has been appeased.
Yes,
Bang.
we need more cats.
Bang, you need
It's
to get
for a
one of
good
these
cause.
pets and just have it follow you around all the time so you can say that it's chasing you.
And literally all I type now is just, ah!
Bonds seem
Nothing
to be
else.
required to be donated to get at least 2 of the pets.
Yeah, there are 2 special pets that you donate bonds to.
Yeah.
Any bond donations that you make during this month will be sent directly to the WWF,
That's
which
good.
is awesome. Additionally, there will be a instead of last time like the weird quiz thing, instead they'll be using a instanced version of the drop that you can access to earn the pets
Oh, that's nice.
or some of the pets.
Oh wow.
So it gives them a nice use for the drop since they've stopped doing that thanks to DDoS.
Yep.
But will the
Thanks to
the
basement
world
dwellers.
crash every time somebody wins?
Yes.
It will, but you'll
Yes.
still get the pet because
Good.
they love you that much.
Alright, also, there are Elite Slayer critters coming out this month, so certain enemies will have a chance of spawning bigger, meaner, richer versions of themselves. The example they gave specifically was Dark Beasts. I think they're also doing Abyssal Demons.
Yeah.
It sounds like Black Demons, Greater Demons. Maybe it's just demons
Let me
in
get
general.
the poll results, actually. Where is it? Because we voted on this.
Well, I know that they showed, I think it was Black
They
Demons?
showed a black
Yeah, it-
demon. Okay, the winners are Abyssal Demons,
Yep.
Greater Demons,
Yep.
and Dark Beasts were the top 3.
Okay, so it was Greater Demons, not Black Demons. Okay.
Correct. Though Black Demons, I think, will show up. They also said that they were there's more than just those 3, and they have
Okay.
others that
Fair
they're planning
enough.
to do too.
It'll probably be a most of the high level Slayer things, probably that aren't in God War's dungeon. It's like that's probably
make
what
sense to me.
it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll start with something like Aqua Knights, or if they'll even start higher than that.
I would love some Equinite elites because I'm sitting here killing them right now, and they have 3.4k HP,
Which
aka
is
they can be two
one-shot.
shot.
Yeah.
2-shot, technically.
Okay.
but, you know.
Also,
Uh,
since do you think they'll do the strikes? Because obviously there's the elite Wildy Worm, or not the
Please,
elite,
I would
yes.
be
the
su-
Wildy Worm.
I would be
God.
a little surprised
Oh,
if
I
they
have
did strikes
nightmares
personally.
about that wildy worm. No, those things are terrible. Help.
Man, they mishandled lava worms so bad.
But yeah,
But I would personally be surprised if they did the strike worms, but
I could
be
see
totally
ice
wrong.
strike.
Yeah, I could see ice strikes potentially.
It's like all
I mean,
the
ice
things
strikes
with
are in dire
those,
need of a buff anyway.
like with the unique
Yeah.
drops.
Yeah, that makes sense. Not that Equinite's unique drops is worth anything, but still.
But it's still like,
doesn't even
well,
loop in.
neither are dark bows, but they're
That's true. Yeah, they're at least 90-something K. Are they
aren't,
still?
aren't ranging ammies slightly more expensive than complete
No.
trash?
They are 51K.
Oh, that's not.
And I had to sell mine for 45 yesterday.
Oh, that's not that.
Dark
Like,
bows are
almost
70 and a half
everything.
K.
Almost everything's starting to like verge on alk price by now.
Oh yeah, and like Abby whips and stuff are.
Yeah.
It's just like the good old days when they were worth 3 mil a piece.
Yeah.
Except
and then
not really
getting them
the
as a
good
drop
old
was
days.
actually worth.
But yeah.
Yeah, according to this, the Amulet of Ranging is 56.3k. Its
Yeah.
outprice, though, is 27k,
Okay.
so it has a lot of space to fall.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Though it used to be 3.4 mils, so...
Yeah, the last I remember
Yeah.
it was 500k, but that was a while ago.
Mhm.
I would have
Yeah, when it
expected it to be
first
around
came
100.
out- When it first came out, it was 2.8 mil.
Yep, sounds about right. Alright, anyways, I think that covers everything we wanted to mention today.
Yep.
So, did I
Pretty
miss anything?
Oh,
I don't think so.
the new Solomon stuff. Yay.
We can go without bothering
Yeah,
with
let's not
that.
mention that.
Nah.
I just have no interest.
Admittedly, I'm actually kind of interested in the V outfit, I'll be honest.
Oh right, there is the V outfit, which is
And I will
interesting,
say,
at least.
the
But-
thing that I...
Oh, and 2 new Grand Exchange slots on Monday.
Yes.
oh yeah, that.
Yay.
The
And
thing,
a Lend slot in the future.
the thing that I was most sad about in, what was it? Heroes Welcome was that V's helmet got destroyed.
Yeah.
Rip.
Like, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
badass helmet. We needed one. And we're getting one.
Yep.
Yes.
Additionally, the update to the crater, there's strength training options, new beach pets, and a beach ball version of the cheese roll event from Gillinor Games.
Oh God, no! Please no.
New barbarian, shaman, and mage themed outfits. New Slayer masks. Oh, I didn't notice that. Wonder if
Alright,
there's
I
finally
think
going to be an
that's-
Equinite mask.
I think that's all we
And-
got.
And that's it. Go listen to the the V podcast with Mod Wilson as well. It's very insightful and it's only like 15 minutes long.
And go check out Belt 3. Do it.
And go
Yes.
check
Yeah.
out Belt 3.
Do
It's apparently very good, and I plan to pick it up.
Yeah. Also, hello Thunder.
Um,
I think we should
alright.
stop this then. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you guys have enjoyed this podcast. We will be back. I don't know. Maybe after raids, but for certain
Yeah.
at the beginning of next
Depending on how Lori raids are.
Can we make raids videos for the lulz, just like the
dear
death
God.
montage of
Yes.
all of us failing
Yes.
so hard?
All of us just failing horribly.
Yes.
Yes.
We're totally gonna group for this, and we're all gonna die.
Sure.
No, just film us all
Well,
dying
except for
really
Runic.
badly.
Runic's gonna solo it.
Alright,
Yes,
so
I'm
Yeah.
gonna solo
We'll
it.
just let-
look
Yeah.
forward
Let
to
him
that.
get one hit.
Anyways, but yeah, so we'll probably be back either in a couple weeks. There might be some random video content stuff for you guys to check out in between now and then. But yeah, so
Men's heist.
yeah, but yeah, so we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.